They said his career was a warning, a talent too fragile to trust. Tonight, in 7 minutes, he made the whole world take it back. This is the story of a man they buried while he was still breathing. 135 million euros sold off for a fraction, labelled a bust, labelled finished. And then, on the biggest stage football has, he scored 3 times before the break. We open their file, Minutia, one nation, one story. The fall before the triumph, Foxborough, the 26th of June, France against Norway, and the group is on the line. On one touchline, Kylian Mbappé. On the other, Erling Haaland, the most feared striker on the planet. The cameras come for the duel everyone wanted. Mbappé against Haaland, 2 empires, 1 night, but Norway blink first. Haaland is not in the team, 10 of their regular starters, gone, rested, held back. Their manager looks at the table, does the math, and decides this fight is not worth the bruises, it is a gamble, and it hands France something dangerous. It hands them space. Because France did not come to share the spotlight. France came with a man who has spent his entire life being doubted. Remember the name they gave him. Wasted talent, the winger who could beat any defender alive and then disappear for 3 months with another injury. Barcelona paid a fortune for him and spent 6 years regretting it. They sold him for less than a third of what they paid. The verdict was written in every European paper: gifted, fragile, finished. A cautionary tale for every academy in the world. That man is Ousmane Dembélé. And in the 7th minute, the cautionary tale opens the scoring. It starts with Mbappé. A pass slid into the channel, perfectly weighted, and Dembélé is already gone. Past the line into the box, and the finish is clean and cold. 7 minutes, 1-0 France. The man they wrote off has the ball in the net before the crowd has finished sitting down. Watch what happens to him after that goal. Something unlocks. 20th minute. France move again, quick and merciless, and the ball finds Dembélé in space. He does not hesitate. He does not overthink it, the thing they always accused him of. He strikes it first time, 2-0, and now the stadium understands what it is watching. 32nd minute. Mbappé again, the architect, threading the second assist of his night. And Dembélé arrives like a man who has waited his whole career for exactly this. 3rd goal, first half hat-trick, 3-0 before the interval at a World Cup by the player the sport had agreed to give up on. 3 goals, 32 minutes, 1 redemption completed in front of the entire planet. But here's what should worry every favourite still left in this tournament. It was not just that Dembélé scored, it was how little France had to spend to do it. Mbappé barely broke stride and still carved out 2 assists. The team around them moved like they had done this 1,000 times. This was a group decider, a real one, with seeding and a path through the bracket at stake. And France treated it like a training drill. 3 goals up at half-time, and the engine had not even warmed. If you are Spain, if you are Brazil, if you are Argentina, you watched the second-best team talk in football tear a side apart without their best striker on the pitch. And you felt something cold move down your spine. Because the scariest version of France is not the one that needs a miracle, it is the one that wins without trying. Norway, to their credit, did not vanish completely. The second half restarts, and 14 seconds later, it is in the French net. 14 seconds. Thelo Aasgaard pounces almost from the kickoff, the fastest kind of goal there is, the kind that comes before a defense has remembered the game is back on. 3-1. A flicker, a reminder that even arrested Norway carries a punch. But a flicker is all it is. France do not panic, because France were never in danger. They manage the hour that follows like a side that knows exactly who they are. And deep into stoppage time, the young substitute Désiré Doué puts the final number on the board. 4-1, full time. France win the group with 3 wins from 3, a perfect record and a statement nobody asked for. And in the middle of it all, the man with the match ball. Think about what that ball means to him. Not the goals, the years, the injuries that stole entire seasons, the headlines that called him a mistake, the transfer that priced his own club's disappointment in cold numbers. He carried all of it, and last year he answered it the only way that silences a room. He won the Ballon d'Or, football's highest individual honor handed to the man it had spent a decade mocking. From bust to the best player in the world, people called that a fluke, a good season, a voting accident. Tonight he answered that too. First half hat-trick, World Cup, no asterisk. This is what redemption actually looks like, and it is not clean. It is not a single perfect night. It is years of being told you are not enough and choosing to come back anyway. Again and again and again, until the comeback stops being a story and becomes who you are. But do not close this file just yet, because one hat-trick against a second-string Norway does not win a World Cup. France have looked imperious, and France have looked imperious before and gone home early, broken by a single bad night. The knockouts do not care about your group record. Dembele's body has betrayed him before at exactly the wrong moment. The redemption is real. The danger has not left the room. A nation can rise on a Friday in Foxborough and still fall on a Tuesday in the heat. The file on France is not a story of triumph, not yet. It is a story of a man and a team who keep arriving at the edge of greatness and now have to prove they can finally walk through it. One game is not redemption, it is a chapter. And the chapter ends with the same question it began with. Can the most gifted team in this tournament trust itself when the lights are brightest? We do not know yet. That is why the file stays open. If this hit, like it, share it with one football friend, and subscribe. A new file opens tomorrow. The files never close.